Hey YouTube, welcome to Moo Reviews. Today we're going to go through Lies of P. This came out near the end of the year last year. I finally got around to playing it. It's another Souls-like game. In summary, I've really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to play. The linear element of it was actually quite easy to grasp and made it a little bit more fun, to be completely honest. Thinking about it more and more, I'd really like to just get into a review of this one. It's probably just a really exciting time to go through it. So with that, let's start. So the story, this is actually based on the Pinocchio series. It's called Lies of P. You play as a robot puppet that is toying with the ability to lie, basically. And the story follows Geppetto, and it's really interesting. It's just it's got this weird protagonist in there that's using the puppets and controlling them, taking over the city of crap. Yeah, it's a cool story. It's got a lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of audio in there that kind of, everyone's voiced over, which is always nice. Geppetto is really good to see and help with. Gemini is really nice as well, because it's kind of like your little fairy that goes along with you, arguably. But yeah, the story was intriguing. I think I went into this Souls-like game thinking there wouldn't be a story, and actually it was kind of the opposite. It had a story, it was fully voiced, you could follow it, and it was just really enjoyable. So yeah, the story was good. I'd give it a good 8 out of 10, to be fair. Some elements of the story that I'd like to just pick up on now are things like the ability to lie. So there's a couple of parts in the story where you can get to choose to lie or obviously just tell the truth. And that, there's a part of the story that kind of makes you more human by lying, whereas obviously robots in this age, in this game, in this universe, can't lie. So yeah, they add that little complexion onto it. I think that's quite interesting. It gives you some fun dialogue to play around with. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure it changed the story too much, but I know there's a couple of different endings, and there's a choice at the end as well, which I really want to play out the other choice, but I felt like I will play this again with a new game +1. So yeah, the story was good, highly recommended, and quite different for a Souls-like. Right, so sound. The sound in this is really good. It's quite a gritty game in the sense of there's a lot of like swords hitting each other, there's a lot of shooting. You've got the extra arm, the prosthetic arm, that's a bit Sekiro-like. But the gameplay is quite Bloodborne-like, actually, in terms of like different types of damage, very weapon-based. You've got your swords, you've got your cleavers and all that. So the sound is like really good. It's quite nice to play with headphones on. I played it without headphones for a bit, and it all felt a bit different because of just my audio system. But headphones, it was clean, it was tidy, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'd give the sound a good 7 out of 10. Oh yeah, and there was music in this game as well. The music, there's just little points in the game where it kind of turns around and plays like this kind of classical music. There's definitely different types of music in here, like kind of opera-like as well. Don't know the exact genres or even the language in some of them as well, but it's really nice. And it kind of makes the tone a little bit different in the game. So yeah, that was really fun. We'll move on to graphics next. So, I mean, graphically, this game was really nice. It was clean on the eyes, it was not too gritty. Like, I've just come off Dark Souls, Lord of the Fallen, Elden Ring I played before that as well, and like, even though it's got this gritty, steampunky kind of Bloodborne, Victorian kind of look to it, it's actually quite bright and pops, and the detail is really clean and vibrant. I don't know, I just found it a really like addictive game. So yeah, the graphics are really nice. 60 FPS all the way through, which is always nice to play with. Really fluid game. I barely saw any stutter as well, in terms of just the fidelity and like the movement and all the action that's going on. It was just so nice to see a clean and tidy game during this whole like playthrough. For graphics, I'd give them a straight 9 out of 10. I think it was really nice. So now we'll move on to gameplay. Gameplay is maybe it's worth going through just the mechanics of the game first, because mechanically there's quite a lot to this game. It does follow the Dark Souls genre, in terms of you got like a way of healing, you've got the kind of lamp system arguably, but it's different in this. It's, you know, the leveling up of weapons, same situation, you get mats, you upgrade. There's NPCs, you do little like story elements to them, and then you get like rewarded items. Boss structure, same situation as well. The bosses are really interesting because like what's the best way of putting them? They usually have like 2 phases to them, and again they follow a similar structure to Dark Souls, but what I did like is if you die, your souls are actually on the outside, which is ergo in this game. And that's the currency used to level up your character as well as upgrade your weapons. So it's always nice when you find a really hard boss and you just want to collect your ergo, and then, you know, maybe level up before you go back to that boss. But yeah, the gameplay is really fun. Like, there's a parrying system in it as well, which is again very much like Sekiro. It plays like a mix between Bloodborne and Sekiro in my opinion, but it has its own like vibe, look and feel with the whole like puppet system. Everything's mechanical and looks really cool. In terms of the gameplay, it's very linear, and that actually made it quite fun. Just coming off Lords of the Fallen, it made it really different. The fact that I didn't feel like I needed to look at any guides, I could just play the game, enjoy it, get through, and really like persevere with how good it really was. The weapons hit hard, there's a lot of them. You can like customize the handle as well and like create like a slightly different weapon based on your build. I also like the fact that it wasn't too complicated. Sometimes with a Souls-like, you don't really know where you're going. You kind of pick a build, maybe you pick strength, then you go to dexterity, and then you're like, oh, I wish I just had all my, you know, like nice like spells and so forth. And yes, you can rejiggle your you know, your stats and so forth in all those games, but it felt nice that I only have 3 choices in this game. There was like technique, legion, and I think, I don't know what the last one was called, but I think it was strength. And it was nice. Like, I just picked technique, which was dexterity in this case, and it was just really fun to concentrate on like only 3. I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. Like, all the weapons, you could still use them, to be fair. You can even change like some weapons to an extent. But it was nice. Like, so for me, gameplay was clean. It was clear cut in a lot of senses. Very linear. I enjoyed it. I felt challenged by it. The bosses were fun. If you like a Souls-like game, in my opinion, this is a good 9 out of 10. And the only reason I don't want to give it 10 out of 10 is because of the linearity. Sometimes it's nice to have options, but arguably what made this fun for me was that I didn't have too much options. Yeah, there's a couple of little hidden things here and there, and there's like secret rooms and like quartz like to upgrade your character even more and customize it, but I just don't think it was 10 out of 10, and I can't really pinpoint what it was because I zipped through this game. It wasn't one of those games where I slogged and tried to finish it. I zipped through it because I loved it. So yeah, you know, 9 out of 10 on gameplay, absolutely loved it. Value for money. This game you can pick it up for relatively cheap now. It's not your full price game. I probably would have bought this at full price, to be fair, and thought nothing of it. Like, its production values are good. It's got videos for everything. It's clean. I really like the detail in a lot of the characters. The bosses are just so cool. But yeah, it's value-wise, it's hard to pinpoint it, because if you're a kind of person who loves New Game Plus, then yeah, it's great. Like, it's top. If you don't like New Game Plus, it's not the longest of games. I think it's like just below 30 hours, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 25. But it's good. So yeah, I would give it, value-wise, I'd give it a good 7 out of 10. So yeah, closing comments on this game. The bosses are cool, the cutscenes are cool, there's a lot of action in this game. Production value wise, I'd love to see them go for this again, because it was such a fun environment. And all the colours kind of popped in that kind of comic book style element as well. Like, even though it has nothing to do with that, there's just something about the palettes that they used that contrasted so well. Music is really good. You can see here at the end, there's loads of like nice composed music in there. You can even play it while you're in the hotel as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game, and I zoomed through it. When I say zoomed, I don't mean rushed. I just enjoyed it that much that I played it a lot more. So yeah, my overall comments on it are fun, accessible, easy to play, good story. I'd recommend it, and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, my closing comments are: recommend this game, try it. You won't find it hard because of the linearity of it, and the bosses are unique and fun. So yeah, that's it for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game, and did you enjoy it? Because I thought it was great. So yeah, that's it for another mirror review, and I'll catch you again.